Let's get street. And remember, no rules. We saw You Got Served, so you know what that means.
Schwarzenegger grow a baby in his belly, rock a Roscoe vest while whipping Justin to Kelly. Or maybe see a burlesque show with Nick Crow and take up over speed to hitting cruise control. J-Man, Big Paul, and the beautiful June, gonna take you from the groove all the way to the room. Renegades and Street Fighter help to blow off steam, just a sucker punch the odd life for Timothy Green. Sharpness, the birdemic, how we staying alive. They call me when the badass and he's on the line. Cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice. Cause the bad Jim Varney looking kind of nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots getting paid. They're just a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth! And hello, people of Largo! We are live in Los Angeles for You Got Served, a movie that came out in 2004, and boy, oh boy, it set the world on fire. And honestly, it did. It opened up #1 on Super Bowl weekend. Tagline, if you want respect, you gotta take it. I guess. All right, so IMDb describes this movie as, in order to achieve their dream of opening a recording studio, IMDb. Should really read my research. Well, I'm gonna read what IMDb says. It's not true. In order to achieve their dream of opening a recording studio, two friends must win their city's dance contest, a fierce competition that pits them against a group of young, tough street dancers. That's all false. This is about two guys. Well, it's about two guys. It's about dance. It's about losing a drug dealer's money, but don't worry about that because it's really not that big of a deal. And what it really comes down to is getting into a Lil Kim video for $50,000. That's really what it's about. Man, IMDb is slacking. All right, so we are going to talk about all of this. We're going to talk about all the dancing. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I don't even know how to judge it. I'm impressed by it, but we will talk about it all. But first, let me introduce my two co-hosts. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Jason Mantzoukas.
What's up, jerks? Let's go! All right, wow.
Jason, were you in the theater for You Got Served?
Never seen this movie before today.
Okay, I'm a big Step Up fan.
Huge Step Up fan.
Huge
Step Up fan. Step up to the streets. I'm a huge Moose guy.
I love Moose.
I'm all in for Moose.
Look, I went to go see.
Not many Moose fans. Oh, okay.
Step Up 3D is still one of the best theater experiences I've ever had.
Agree.
Amazing.
Agree.
But this
that
is
and Jackass 3D are the 3D movies that really work.
It really,
Yeah.
That's what it needs to be. Now, ladies and gentlemen, somebody else that can talk about 3D movies and dance. Please welcome June Diane Raphael. Welcome, June.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for asking. You got served. Did you get served in the movie theater, or did you see this for the first time?
I saw it for the first time today. I cried.
Whoa!
I cried as well.
I cried.
When is there an opportunity?
When?
How about justice for Lil Saint? How about justice for Lil Saint, Paul?
Lil Saint, I was going to say tonight's episode is dedicated to Lil Saint. R.I.P.
Wow.
S.
Wow, this movie goes for it.
Well, but
they kill that kid off screen.
And I thought...
I needed to see a body.
What?
Show me a body or it didn't happen.
You want to see that kid's body? Okay, not that.
Honestly, you put on those checkered Vans tonight, which I've never seen before.
You skateboarded here.
And you got some kind of energy over there.
You watched a teen movie. You got your teen sneaks on.
I've never
Backstage,
seen those
you called
before.
me lame.
Bunch of lamos over here. They don't know about youth culture. Now look,
Listen,
Lil Saint
You
came in the way
said,
he
because
came
we
out.
watched the beginning of the movie together, and you said when Lil Saint came on screen, you said he's going to die. And I was like, and now I didn't even know you had seen the movie before.
I never have.
Oh, I thought you saw it in the theaters. So
Step Up 3D.
I'm sorry. So you said it so confidently, and I was like, you're crazy. You're so crazy. Like, they would never. They're going to make us think he died. They're going to make us think like something, he's in peril. They'll never kill him. They did.
At the very least, he'll get to do like an incredible dance piece before
I
he
was
dies. Right?
waiting.
Nope.
Never
He
got to
just
see him
wants
do
to get
it.
on the team, gets on the team, and then is murdered.
And not
No,
only that,
He doesn't even really get to, is he even officially on
He's
the team?
they
officially
tell
on the
him
team.
you're on the
Okay.
team.
But he never gets to even go to practice.
He doesn't get
No.
to even get to practice.
no.
He's
So
shot
technically-
off screen.
Technically, never on the team. I mean, he was told he would be on the
This
team.
take is awful. This is a villain's take. Why? What is that? I think you think that looks cool. It doesn't. That's not.
The audience,
Buddy,
they love it. They
you're
love it
gonna
'cause you're
get
young
hurt.
like me. You're young like me.
How come? Here's the next question. How come Paul was in a boot on tour? That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna hurt yourself.
The craziest thing about Lil Saint's death, too, is that it was Lil Saint's death was caused by the fallout between
L.
L. I knew it was close by. L and David. And had they not been fighting, I mean, blood is on their hands.
Yes.
And that's so upsetting. And I just couldn't
No.
believe
He
this
wasn't-
dance movie
no.
did that.
He went for a ride along.
Yeah, he was supposed to be with them, but because Lil Saint's older brother, his like big brother, wasn't willing to fight with dance with L, that's why Lil Saint died.
For anybody who hasn't seen the movie, Little Saint is max 11 years old, right?
I
This
would
is
put him
a-
at 9 or 10.
This is, okay, even younger. This is a child.
He knew what he was getting into. You play with adults, you
They're
find
not
out.
adults. They're not adults. They're teenagers. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, play with kids your own age, Lil Saint. Play with kids your own age.
Wow.
Now, all I wanted to see though
Wow.
were those when they ran to that hospital. This movie is shot in 3 sets: a basketball court inside Steve Harvey's house.
You think that's Steve Harvey's house?
Oh yeah, it's his back house.
It's in the back of his house
Yeah.
where he's got a boxing ring and an airplane hanger.
But like when they
I
go
got
in-
this old boxing ring. I guess you guys can dance in there.
when they run into that hospital, like, we need to see Lil Saint. He's family. And they're like, really? And they're like, well, no. Technically, he's not family. And they're like, well, yeah, because his family already left. Because he dead.
Yeah.
And
Oh, man, they genuinely strung that out for so
long.
Because, of course, we all knew Lil Saint was dead, right?
I did not.
You were
I did
holding
not.
it.
I was like, they would never do that to us.
you need a Lil Saint in the hospital bed, like, dance for me.
Wow. This is rough.
It's the shoes.
This is rough to watch.
Dance for me.
But that's the thing that is what motivates them. You know, they changed the name of their team to Little Saint. They are, they're doing it for Little Saint. But there's a part of me that's like, drop out.
Yeah.
Drop
Can't
out of
drop out.
competition.
Not for $50,000. Lil Saint would have wanted them to dance.
I guess maybe you're
I
right.
do wanna
but
show-
also, like, guys,
This is some of the acting that's going on in the hospital scene.
this and he is really like, I really can't tell you guys this, but finally has to be like, okay, he is dead.
He did break patient confidentiality here.
Yeah. Oh, as they're walking out, you can see the doctor gets fired in the background.
That's HIPAA law. You're out
out.
here, buddy.
You're out.
Look, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but Tashawn died a few hours ago.
What?
A bullet pierced his lung and caused severe internal bleeding. We tried to contain it. We tried to revive him. He didn't come back. There's nothing more we could do. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man! Please, let me go! Let me go!
Bye-bye, Lil Saint.
Do you have a picture of Lil Saint?
I wish.
I wish Lil Saint was was the background there.
I think that Lil Saint should be the shirt. Just like in memory.
I agree.
Justice for Lil Saint.
I'm surprised you're on board for that.
Look, Lil Saint to me is the reason why everything comes together, right? I think we needed a sacrifice like this. This is how great movies work, you know? He died so they could
What
win.
do you mean we need a sacrifice like this? Who? Who needs this? Who did we sacrifice Lil Saint to?
The story listeners of America need a death to... Oh, now we lean in. Ooh, yeah.
The story listeners of America?
'Cause a lot of people say the storytellers. I'm just saying, we never talk about the story listeners.
Yeah, we don't talk about the story listeners nearly enough. I think you lost your goddamn mind.
Yeah. I always worry when Paul puts on like a little flair. And that's what I see happening right now. It's those shoes.
Yeah, it's the shoes.
I
shoes?
truly have never seen him in them. I looked out from backstage. I was like, are those what I think they are?
Like, I feel like...
Get ready. I'm joining a ska band after this show. Who's with me?
I feel like Paul showed up in normal shoes, saw those backstage, and was like, let me put these on.
Yeah.
And then became possessed by like an evil ska person. Some sort of ska ghoul.
Honestly,
I was very emotionally moved by the Lil Saint story.
Fully agree.
I was weeping.
How could you get emotionally? Like, we didn't get to see anything.
Okay, so you're saying, do you think if we'd seen a child's body,
What did you want to see?
we would have been able to enjoy
All I
the
want is
dance
this.
sequence?
All I
wanna
want is
see?
this. I want this. All right, oh my God, we're here to see Little Saint. And then all of a sudden, pushing like a small little gurney.
Wait, you think the gurneys are smaller? You think they've got Lil Gurneys? I think
Lil Gurneys or Lil Saints?
I'll be honest with you, Paul. I mean, I don't think they got little gurneys. I mean, I get what you're saying. Maybe they see them pulling the sheet up over Lil Saint's body.
I
think
did
it's
not
gonna be on a
need that.
normal sized gurney if I'm honest.
I was like, the movie is being really respectful, and I appreciate it.
Oh, there's no way they could have they could never have shown us dancing if they'd shown us a child's corpse.
No, yeah.
Full stop. We would
it's-
have revolted. We would have rebelled against it.
Let me tell you who I was not expecting to see in this movie. Steve motherfucking Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
When Steve Harvey comes out as Mr. Rad. Mr. Rad. Steve Harvey, I was shocked. I was surprised. And I'm like, we need to get him in more movies. I love Steve Harvey.
Agreed. There's something, when he's on screen, tell me you can't keep your eyes off of him. Tell me he doesn't comfort you. Just his presence, his way. I find him endlessly watchable.
We have done, June and I have done Family Feud. I've done it twice. And the best part of Steve Harvey is him talking to the audience in between or when the commercial breaks are, which you don't even really have to take that much downtime. It's not, the show's not live, but he does it. And he's like, what do you got? And people are like, Steve, my son, he won't go to school. He's like, all right, let me tell you. He knows the answer to everything. The only other person I've ever seen do that is Tom Cruise, where someone came up to Tom Cruise and was like, Tom, I want to be a photographer. He's like, all right, first of all, you got to get a Fuji, get a 35 millimeter lens, only shoot film. I want you to start doing ISO 800. I'm like, what the fuck? How did you know about this? And he did it for everybody back. No one asked him about acting. He's like, Tom, I want to grow plants. He's like, okay. If we're going to grow plants, we got to go you got to get a proper temperature. And it's like, Steve Harvey did the same thing of Family Feud.
Well, what I was amazed by with Mr. Rad is that Mr. Rad, I get he's sort of like the mayor of the neighborhood, knows everybody, has seen these kids grow up, fine, and is
He's putting on these dance
He's putting on these dance contests, and I guess putting up some money, or I don't know if they're getting money at the door.
First of all, why is he hanging around with all these kids? I mean, everybody seems to be pretty cool with Mr. Rad, but I'm here to be like, I'm sketched out by the adult who's like, okay, everybody, no, let us do this on our own.
Mr. Rad, first of all, I'm going to say it's Steve Harvey's house they're in, but they have a boxing ring set up, but it's not a boxing ring.
It's a warehouse.
It's a warehouse. So I guess they just need that to keep people at bay. But it's packed. I think Mr. Rad's taking money off the top.
For sure.
Because they're only giving, $600. I'm looking around. It looks like, well, what's the entry
What do you think?
price?
It's $20 at the door?
I think it's $20 at the door.
He owns that space, or do you think he just organizes it, or they put it together? Like, what is it? Is everybody taking over a derelict space to host this in?
Well,
or is
because
it
they
his?
also
No,
are
I think
having
that's
practices
Mr. Rad's
there
space.
too.
That's
What?
a different space.
No, they go to his space too.
Oh, it's a different room. It has mirrors and stuff.
Well, no, they have multiple. They are in multiple scenes. There's the ropes in one of the rooms.
Okay.
I think what happened is Mr. Rad got one of those cool stopwatches that you wear around his neck, and he's like, what should I do with this? Dance contest. I'll time it. Like that's what Mr. Rad seems to.
I felt like
table.
Mr. Rad. I did not think. I thought Mr. Rad had pure intentions. I think Mr. Rad is Mr. Rad for the people and knows that this is something that the community needs and is willing. I mean, I wish a lot of us would be more like Mr. Rad and offering something to our community. Just out of the goodness of our hearts.
Well,
so I'm cool to just start judging children's dance
They're
contests.
not. Okay, first of all, they're not children.
Cool
All of these.
You're
Whoa,
cool with
They're
Jason,
not children.
Jason, he doesn't judge. He just holds the
doesn't.
money in a hat.
No, he doesn't judge. He's saying he's the arbiter. He's saying
MCing.
who votes for these guys, who votes for. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, because without him, there would be complete chaos.
Well, but aside from Lil Saint, I believe that most members of the cruise are out of high school.
Oh yeah, these are adults.
These are adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're not,
whoa.
They're not going to school. One girl's working in the hospital.
She is about to go to Princeton.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's out of high
She's
school.
deferred and is going to community college. But I do think
maybe
they're
Wait, she's
they're
going to
older.
college currently?
Okay, first of all,
Served.
Hey.
I think she's currently, I think she's working at the hospital or somewhere, and she's also going to college.
Well,
This points to a weakness
Yeah.
in the movie, I will say, even though I'm loath to admit there are weaknesses in this movie. I don't know what anybody's up to. I don't know what anybody's in this for, other than the dancing and the money. I understand, but like the orange, I don't understand what it is. What's the
Well,
animosity?
here's how I
What
put
is-
it together. Actually, was because of Princeton, and it's Elle's younger sister, and she's going to. She got accepted into Princeton. They can't afford the tuition, and so she's going to community college and trying to save up money to go. So he's clearly at least older than college aged.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of the crew members are working day jobs, wanting to be professional dance crew members.
Well, and that's the
And
thing is,
looking
I
for a
didn't
break.
understand. It seemed so like local team versus local team, like the Orange County guys have challenged us, blah, blah, blah. So that when it blew up to be like, it's MTV is here, it's on, we're on, I was like, what? I haven't seen this coming at all.
Well, there are certain things about the way information is doled out in this movie that is bizarre, right? Because they lose this dance, then they go.
They lose their first dance.
Yes. So
they
lose-
win the first dance in the cold open. At the very opening, they win.
Do they? Because
They've won everything until they battle the $5,000 guys, the Orange County guys. They lose to that.
Okay, so
Because they
I
steal
thought they
their moves.
lost their first dance.
I thought they lost
No?
their first dance
Okay.
when they sleep over.
Did they? Yeah.
Okay.
No, they
well,
win because they're like undefeated. That's why they think they're so
Okay.
cocky because they're kind of undefeated. I believe.
Well,
Got it.
I guess where I was having an issue was they have their dance, they fall asleep watching videotapes, and then they wake up the next morning, and then the guy goes, "Hey, so I got sent this videotape. You want to come over and watch it?" It was like, you were just at his house. You didn't talk about this at all. Like you went to the basketball court. You chatted. You went home, you slept there, and then you called me, hey, I got this tape. Why didn't you talk about it? Like, no one ever gives out information at the right period.
I don't think those scenes had been written yet.
Probably.
My guess is this was shot like catch as catch can.
That's what I think, too, because it really is like, sometimes it's like these two are having a date during the day, and this guy's in the middle of the night with a bag, getting his ass kicked. I'm like, is it a different part of LA where it's nighttime and is it the time zone has changed? Because it is confusing, and it's also confusing that Wade's crew, the main bad guys, challenge them via videotape, but then they also seem to be performing at Mr. Rad's regularly as well.
Because they said, okay, the videotape I agree was strange because it made me feel like, because they kept also being like the guys from Orange County. So I was like, where are our guys? Where are David and Elle from? Because I was like, oh, they must be far away. They had to be sent a videotape. But then they the Wade's crew guys just showed up on their basketball court being like, okay, we're ready to do it tonight. And I was like, whoa, wait, what?
But that's a lot of this movie is like setting up the stakes of we've got this battle, we've got this competition, and then being like, actually, it's tonight. Or I'm in a lot of trouble. I owe someone $50,000. I need to get it right away. And then that guy being like, you can have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Rad being like, I figured it out. Like stakes are both presented to us, then heightened and then taken away. And
traditional entourage plotting, which is like the biggest problem has presented itself. Okay, that's not a problem anymore. We're done.
To that end, if we're to believe the movie at face value, then everything takes place within that 2 weeks period.
Has
right?
to.
So mustn't they be having...
Wait, his recovery from his broken leg?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he only has 2 weeks to pay it back, he does the full recovery. Plus, then, doesn't that cast... Like, from the minute the movie starts, don't they know in 2 weeks is the MTV dance-off?
No, they find that flyer midway through the movie.
Oh, I know. But, I mean, like, it's still 2 weeks... It's only 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I think everything is 2 weeks. It's like everything in LA is 15 minutes away. This movie everything is about 2 weeks away. Because he is doing a full recovery, which seems to be a lot of arm work for a guy who has a broken leg. He's
also,
get the
but by the way,
where's all this rain?
don't know.
Where's all this rain? He is rehabbing in the rain.
By the way, though, when we watch the scene where he's getting jumped, like they're kicking him in the head multiple times, they're kicking him in the side. I didn't see anything happen to his legs.
Yeah,
and that was the only thing.
Okay, so you think Elle's faking his injuries?
I'm just saying, knowing
Your guys'
now,
takes are wild.
Knowing now how quickly he recovered, I'm like, something was up with that. Also, there's another movie within this movie that's a very good movie, and I wish we got to see it, and maybe we will.
Is it Jack A's movie?
No, it's...
Love Jack A.
It's, well, I'd like to see that movie too, but it's the movie about what Steve Harvey did to Maurice or whatever to absolve Elle of his debt to him.
Wait.
Great.
What happened?
Yeah.
I think Mr. Rad killed him.
Mr. Rad killed him?
I think he's like, Mr. Rad is like, this guy, like, he loves the community. He's like, this motherfucker, I gotta take him out. And he brought his friend from the LAPD who's packing that serious heat. And they went in there and they were like, hey, I want to talk to you. Bam, bam, bam. And then all of a sudden, Lil Saint came out. Bam!
Wait, that's a good question.
Stop.
You think Mr. Rad killed Lil Saint?
We didn't see it happen.
So now I'm on board because I do think Mr. Rad is a villain.
Mr. Rad? Bam!
Wait, but that's a good question because, like, nobody really is seeking justice or answers for who killed Lil Saint.
No, that's over there. That's for after the MTV event. Maybe.
Yeah, our priorities are dancing for the MTV event.
Here's what I really appreciated.
MTV is hosting it, but it's Lil Kim.
Here's what I really appreciated about the MTV event, which I was like, God, I wish you could have done this sooner. All the crews wore different colored tracksuits. In the other dance sequences, I was like, that's why I didn't think they won the first one, because it's all happening so quickly. We're cutting back and forth.
The editing did the dancing a tremendous disservice.
Yes. moves.
The editing in this movie is awful,
Yes.
specifically for the dancing.
Well, I guess like
It's
what
all chopped up. That
Yeah.
You cannot a tepid applause. I'd rather not get any. Actually, don't. No, I don't want. I'm not looking for that, guys. What the fuck?
I mean, this is the issue. Like, I have watched dance movies,
Okay.
and
All right.
I think.
I've watched a lot of dance movies. Now, I'll tell you this much. And I think I'm always like, whoa, this is amazing. Like when you watch Step Up or even Save the Last Dance, whatever it is, Julia Stiles and 10 Things I Hate About You, I'm like, that's a great dance. Here, I'm like, what's going on? How am I supposed to be feeling? Only when the guy levitated, I was like, oh shit, they brought magic into this?
Well, and there's a couple of instances where you can tell, like there's in the final battle, there's like our hero team has a whole thing that looks like they've choreographed it to be in slow-mo, so that it would look cool, like as if they're moving in slow-mo, but they've not set up the cameras to capture that at all. So the cameras are catching it only it's terrible.
Well,
Yeah.
then there's also this idea like, you stole our moves.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Well, we didn't
all
know
s-
those moves.
But we're also all seeing it, right? Like they're performing publicly. It's not like, I don't know how you.
Well,
see
I guess that's true, but also none of those moves were memorable.
Right.
And that's the big problem with the movie is like
That's right.
I love these dance crews. I follow a lot of them on TikTok. I love watching them. I think they're amazing. And I was like, I don't think they're good.
None of them.
think they're good.
None of them.
None
were
of
good.
them. Nor
Is
did they
like,
get
do the
better.
Jabberwockies exist at this point in time?
Not at 2004, I don't
Oh,
think.
okay.
I mean,
But
maybe
like
they were
they never also got, and not even better, but they never showed us anything at the end that was at all different from what we saw in the first dance.
And every team's dancing was the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the teams didn't have unique identities that I felt like were like, oh, this is this
it was
team's
just different
story
colored,
of this.
different colored tracksuits.
Yeah.
Because even at one point I was like, oh, is it just going to be like these are the white guys are the bad guys in this? And I'm like, I'm fine with that. But then I'm like, well, they're just not white guys. They have a multiracial crew. They're just fronted by two white guys who. I'm like, man, was 2004 a rough time for white dudes with their hair and shit? I was like,
Okay, well,
what's
this
going
is part,
on, man?
This is part of your "it's hard to be a white guy" thing.
Yeah, I've heard this speech.
And now you're trying to post date
heard
this to
speech
2004.
before.
All I'm saying was, back in 2004, we could do things like make our hair spiky and look like vampires. Everyone
Oh
looks
man,
like
when
Steven
Oscar,
Dorff.
when Oscar shows up, they've been talking about Oscar the whole movie. Hey, can you get your guy Oscar to come? Maybe Oscar can come. He doesn't compete anymore. He's a purist. Oscar shows up, walks around on his hands for 1 second, and that's it.
That's the
I was
thing.
like,
There are too many other dance characters. Like
Yeah.
there's Oscar, there's Rico, there's Lil Saint's big brother. Maybe that's Rico, I don't know. But like there's also the guy who defected
R.I.P.
from the other team. Like, and none of them seem to be additive.
Well, they're not. I feel like they are. Most of the people you just mentioned are the actors. So, like the dancers, to me, are people that I feel like are not part of the main acting crew. So, that's why I was like, "Who's that jump? What? That's cool, but where is that?"
Yeah, I've never seen that person before.
No.
The one thing that I was so confused by
And
was...
how come Mr. Rad never dances?
Well, Mr. Rad does come out with semaphore flags at one point. All right, dance over. I'm like, you have boating flags now? Like, I feel like Steve Harvey just wanted a prop, and I don't begrudge
The
him
other
that.
weird thing about Mr. Rad is that during the last scene where Elle's little sister is sitting with him and they're at the MTV competition, they're semifinals. She's like, God, I really want to get David and Elle back together. He's like, they have to squash this. Like, this is ridiculous. They have to squash this. And she's like, yeah, I know. Elle's so worried about the money. And he's like, oh, I fixed that. And she's like, you should tell them.
No, and he's like, no,
nah.
I don't want to wreck they need
The
that.
energy. I'm like, huh.
The real problem between David and Elle is that Elle doesn't want David dating his sister.
And
it's
that's
not just
gross.
it's not just the betrayal of you weren't there for me when we had to do this deal and I got beat up. It is part and parcel that you were with my sister and I don't want that.
Can I ask a question about this? Is it because, I mean, are we to believe that they're also drug dealers, or what are they doing in these big duffel bags?
I don't think they're dealing. I felt like they were just moving drugs from place to place, which sounds like dealing. But it seems to me more just like a transportation.
I think they are
they're couriers.
They're delivery.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at one point he goes, "This is he basically says like, this is a big load. Can you handle it?" He's like, "I can handle it." It's like, well, is this a heavier bag? Like he's
so.
worried about the weight of the bag. It was about 35 pounds. You can carry that 35. I got the because normally it's backpacks.
Maybe it's the value of it. Maybe
Right.
It's
okay.
that this is a big deal, and isn't that the whole thing of like one more of these and we're done, and like we're getting out or whatever?
Well, yeah, and that's what I was like. But even I don't know why that guy would need two kids to just drop bags across town. Like it seems like kind of a waste of money. Like just get one of your guys to do it.
I
They
think
are
those
one of his
kids are his
guys.
guys.
Are they his guys?
Yeah.
I think in this
Well, they
instance,
seem
yes.
to be working a lot of freelance time. They're like, "Hey, you got anything for us to bring
I
across
mean, I
town?"
don't think that there's a payroll or they're like W-9s.
Did you need
like
to see them fill out like a W-9? What's going on?
Well, I feel like they're trying to walk.
You
the
wanted
line.
them on 1099s. So
I
they
want
could
them on
just be
10.
like,
I want to see if they're an S corp or whatever. I guess like what I want, but I guess my thought was they don't. I think they do a very like they're walking this fine line of saying they're not always working for this guy, but when they need money, they'll work for this guy.
yeah.
But dance is going to get them out. They're trying to. Their priorities are dancing, but they have to do
So
this.
this is why he doesn't want him to date his sister.
No, I think
that
he
has
also
nothing to
doesn't
do with
want him
it.
dating. Yeah, he doesn't want him
Really?
dating his sister because he's a player, right?
I
'Cause
think he's a little bit of a player, but also I think that Elle
So much
is
is happening
weirdly
off
possessive of his sister, and it's really gross.
There's that, but then the other guy, yeah.
It's really gross.
The other guys accuse David of always pursuing the women in their world, and they name a bunch of other women. You did it with this girl and that girl, and they seem to all be down on David.
But then it seems like the whole reason why he's mad at David is because he decided he was going to take that big giant load himself.
I don't think. Okay, that's
like-
not. You want to rephrase that?
No, he was
'Cause
like
people can clip it.
he was going to say
That's
Let
editable,
me
my
take
friend."
that giant load by
Okay.
myself.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh God, it's getting worse. AI's gonna have that.
I just felt like that was like I feel like he was mad at him, and like I just felt like.
But then at
Yeah.
the end, when he's like, "That's how you're going to talk to your girl," and then they so hardcore make out in
It
front
was
of him
disgusting.
that I was like, "Oh, don't do that either, though."
There
Like,
was
be
a
cool.
lot of like very wide mouth kissing.
Big open mouth kisses.
But I like when his grandma said, "Elgin Barrett Eugene Smith III." It's like, wow, that's a big name. That is a fucking masterful name. The grandma's my favorite character
Absolutely.
with her gout,
Absolutely.
her everything. When she said, "I've never heard this phrase before and I love it," she says, "I diapered it so I can ask about it." I was like, fuck, that's a shirt.
And honestly, I clocked that. I was like, yeah.
After the first dance contest, they win, and their two girls come up to them and be like, "Hey, we want to join the group." And they're like,
happened
"Great,
to them?
tomorrow at 1:00, practice or whatever." Do those girls ever join
No.
the group?
Yeah,
Where are those two girls?
Those girls become the Dorfon Golf girls. Remember where they put the feet down on the ground and they pull their sweatshirts over and they're like, "We're little
is that them?
people, we're dancing around."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they joined the crew.
That's
That's fine. It
I
just
thought I
felt-
was going to see
They
more of
felt
the
like
team
we were
dynamic.
setting up some sort of a love triangle or something. Nope.
Here's what I said. I wrote down. Don't say this because it won't work. But I am going to say it.
But,
which is-
but villain Paul he'll say anything.
No, because it's so small. Like obviously, this is this giant warehouse. There's so many people there. The minute the dance competition is over, it's deadly silent.
Yeah.
Like so silent. Like there's no noise. It's like it's a vacuum. It's like do we need any sound design for this? No. Not people leaving. Not a clink of a bottle. Not a door open. Not a hey. Nothing.
Nothing.
Just in that movie. There's so many times where it's a giant crowd and it's like Steve Harvey in that stand's like, yeah, I took care of it. And there's people all around him. Silent. I watched this movie watching that and I was laughing my head off. Again, it wasn't going to work, but I needed to express it.
One of my favorite things is when they get to the MTV, like much of the third act is just this gigantic dance contest that is the MTV Lil Kim video opportunity, $50,000 prize, ... And what's so funny is at certain points, Lala is just talking into the same camera that is otherwise being used to shoot the movie.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's the same frame. It's like, here we are showing these people, and then it's Lala being like, hey, it's empty. Right into lens. I was like, whoa. We can't do this. We need another. This has to be established.
Nope.
No.
We can't just have someone looking into lens with a microphone now. That's the camera that I use to look into the movie world. I don't want it looking back at me.
That's like
I'm trying to jerk off here.
That's what we're saying. That's
Where's
like
Moose?
we're talking about. That's like what you're saying is like that's the story hearer's lens, right?
The story
listeners.
You mean the story listeners of America?
I couldn't listen. I couldn't remember what I said. Yeah.
I remember it. It's the story listeners of America. I unfortunately have complete recall of the last 40 minutes of my life.
So the story that they crossed the story listener's lens right there, and that's easy. That's what the
listen. I laughed so hard during the semis at the big competition in the third act.
Oh, I love this.
I laughed so hard when David's crew, before he joins Els, when David's crew gets knocked out. The reason they get knocked out is because there's several falls.
Yeah.
Those
that
falls
happen. And there are some like really elaborate jumps and moves. That's not how people are falling. People in that dance crew are falling just walking. Just honestly standing.
I thought that someone was shot.
So funny.
I thought that someone was shot because they fell out of frame. I was like, whoa, what happened?
Not a
hamstring.
They didn't get twisted up in a move. They just simply fell.
Walking backwards.
Yep.
Walking
Simply
backwards
fell.
for a reset.
Stumbling. It's not even falls. People are just
stumbling around.
There are so many things in this movie that's beautiful and great, but I also again.
Like what? What do you mean beautiful and great?
Here's something that's
There's so many things in this movie that are beautiful and great. You just said.
I'll tell you something.
So many things.
I'll tell you something that's beautiful and great. The grandma, when Elle first goes to see her and she's complaining about all of her stuff, the grandma brings out some orange juice for him and she pours him the smallest glass. I don't know if anyone else clocked it, but it's like this big. It's a shot of orange juice.
Well, but I think that shot of orange juice is just to get you to this scene where you get the hot cocoa latte.
Two L's.
They say hot chocolate make the pain go away.
Who says that?
Me. Anything that's hot and chocolate, girl, you know you can't go wrong. I can't believe Eldon put his hands on you. I would have took my shoe off and did damage.
Things are so messed up.
You think? And you know what? You can stay here as long as you need to because you know you my girl and you know that I got you.
Thanks, B.
You're welcome. Now, I'm finna get my makeup kit and we finna have a girls' night and it's
I like a coffee before a girls' night. A hot cocoa coffee before a girls' night.
Did she say that was a mochaccino?
She said it's a hot cocoa latte.
Oh. The best part of that scene to me, and I don't know who wrote the movie, I didn't look up the writers, but it's so
John Patrick
reeks
Shanley.
of... It's so reeks of
rewritten by
like...
Sorkin.
So reeks of like late 90s, someone writing, a guy writing a script, and they're like, what do girls do?
Yeah.
They light candles. I know they light candles to be cozy. Hot cocoa.
Yep. Big time.
Big time. Like sitting also on the edge of a bed, drinking giant mugs of hot cocoa.
Like you have all your conversations.
Yeah.
Both of you sitting on the edge of a bed.
Yeah, and then it's time to do each other's makeup. It's like he hit all of the things that girls do.
Now, I will say this. They have the finale in the LA Convention Center, in the lobby of the LA Convention Center. That's not a main area. They have put a couple of bleachers in the front hallway. Like when you walk through the front door, like that to me was like this is really low rent. This is not. How big is this?
Well,
company?
and they also didn't have, correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't have Lil Kim for the first shot of her, correct?
Sorry, what do you mean?
When they were first introduced
you
to
don't
Lil
see
Kim.
Lil Kim yet. She's not at that judge's table, I don't think.
Well, that's not actually, she is the character of Lil Kim, but that's not actually Lil Kim.
What?
So the shots of her all from the side, we never get to see her face full on. I believe that there was one day they didn't have Lil Kim for whatever reason, and they put someone else in there that was not Lil Kim. That was Lil Kim's stand-in. Do you have that?
Well,
babe?
I have Lil Kim.
Do you have Lil Kim stand-in?
Do you have Lil Kim's?
Do you have those shots?
Do you have those shots of her at the judges' table when we first?
Lil Kim stand-in from the side?
We will get a little Kim
Whichever
moment
crew
here.
wins today, you're going to want to remember their faces because the next time you'll see them will
Who's
be in
he?
Lil Kim's hot new video. Give it up for Lil Kim!
Choreographer.
Oh, all right, so she's there.
That's not her.
That's not Lil Kim?
No.
What's so funny about that is that okay, that right there, that's not Lil Kim.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Now, what I love about this is
I love
she
this
is,
theory.
To Lil Kim, now I know that might be not Lil Kim, but at least for the movie's reality, if that is Lil Kim, they introduce her and people act as if she's come out from behind a curtain.
Yeah.
Like she's been sitting
just
at
been
this
sitting
table.
right there.
Yeah. With her security, and then it's like. And
But
here's the guy
will
taking-
you rewind just a few frames from the? There is a because the.
That's Lil Kim.
Okay,
I
so
don't
yeah, okay,
know.
so it is the. Wait a minute, you're suspect of this Lil Kim as well?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna go in on they're all Lil Kim.
It feels like it's the same shot. Like they had two
Yeah.
cameras to get her in one. Let's go back and see. Is she there?
It's so small.
See, she's not
there.
there.
Oh yeah, she's there.
Where is she? Okay,
There.
she's over there.
Whoa! I'm having trouble. I don't understand the
Why is
geography
she all
of
the way
set.
over there?
This is. We only have Lil Kim for 3 hours, so we're gonna put her off in the corner so we won't ever see her.
What's this about? What's over here?
Is that where?
Like, why are there tall tables like they're gonna get like there's waiter service? I'm so confused by the geography. Hold on. 100%. This is an ironing board. These are folding tables, but that's an ironing board, right? No, it's the DJ. I see it now. But for a minute, I was like, whoa, what?
Well, okay. So what I do like about this is a passionate movie, and there's that moment where they break out into a fight. You know, when they have that dance battle. That was not scripted. That was
What?
real. The dancers were upset with each other for real in the $5,000 dance, and Steve Harvey did have to break it up. So that is a good reason why Mr. Rad needs to be around, because these are actors in a movie. Hey, stop. So yeah, they got a little upset because they felt like they were not allowing each other to do the best dancing. Even though that's scripted that they have to lose, I guess they had a hard time taking the fall there. And so, yeah, and thank God for Steve Harvey being there because it stopped the action.
Always.
I mean, like, we're really like elevating Steve Harvey this episode to a god tier.
Steve Harvey is the fucking best. I
I'm with
love
Paul.
Steve
I think
Harvey.
Mr. Red shot Lil Saint.
Look, if it was to take down that big guy, you got to do it.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Think about it like this. Those two kids, they get this money, they're going to I mean, what's the end game of this, though, too, the dance cruise? Like, I guess to be on America's Got Talent?
I don't think but maybe. I mean, that's the economics of the crew. It's hard, right? Because especially with like the early competitions where they're just splitting $700 between 23 people, like it's nobody's walking home with a lot of money. And it does seem like some of the sequences they do, they have to practice a lot. So those are hours they're putting in.
Can I
and
ask you about the economics of it, though, June? Like, did you have an issue when those guys said, hey, we'll put up the 5,000?
I knew you were going to ask about this. I knew you were going to ask about
This
this.
is arguably what causes. Doesn't this cause the defection that leads to
Yeah.
their moves being able to be stolen? Because that guy who wants the equal split goes to the Wade's
Still
team.
don't understand how the moves can be stolen when they're being performed publicly. And that guy left.
I'm assuming these were upcoming moves.
Okay. Oh, so they're like they're like
practiced
banking
those.
like so in 2 months will be. It's like
These are the new moves.
it's like when Zoolander's like I'll a one-time reveal Magnum. It's like that. I just watched Zoolander, so I have a lot of Zoolander.
It's
ready to
just
go.
like that Zoolander. Just like it. Of
So
course.
what
we
did
all
they
know.
say? That Elle and David were going to take 1,500 off the top,
They were going to take
2,000 off the top.
3,000 and then
3,000 out of the 5,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But they were putting up the full 1,000. They were putting up the full 5,000.
I thought it was a lot, but I also would have loved to have known about the hours they're putting in choreographing and then teaching, and also any costs they have with rental space, etc.
Yeah. Who is the choreographer? Who's coming up with the moves?
I don't know. And I do think they should be compensated.
It doesn't seem like there is any hierarchy to be like. It's not like, oh, this is my crew.
Right,
Wade
there's no
is the head
dance
of his
captain.
crew. Wade is definitely the head.
You think?
Well, they say Wade's
it is
crew.
Wade's crew. Yeah, I guess so. So I mean, like his is a monarchy, but like our guys is a democracy.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't think so, though. I mean, I think David and Elle are definitely the heads of the crew.
I agree with that. Yes.
And I also think they're doing a lot of admin. Like they're figuring out where to sign up. Like
Elle,
now,
Elle
I'm
does all,
fine with them
Elle is
taking
really good at
3,000.
Excel. Like he's doing all the spreadsheets and stuff like that on Excel. He's
I'm
like,
so weirded out by how you're putting the emphasis on the X in Excel.
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 What is up with you, man?
Excel. Excel. Excel.
Excel. Excel.
Excel. It's
What?
an Excel document.
He's good with Excel. What? Like honestly, what's up? I'm genuinely like I don't feel safe.
All right, so let's go to the crowd. Let's see what they
Take
have
it to the
say.
streets,
Let's
Paul.
go to the
Take
streets.
it to the streets.
Let's go. Street rules. Here we go, everybody.
Oh
All
my
right, street
God.
rules. Here we go. What do you got? All right, what's your name? What's your question?
My name's Josh. I was thinking that maybe this might comfort Jason and June. I don't think Lil Saint died. I think that it was like a cover-up, and because his family left early, his dad was one of them, and he took them and he abducted him. He got him on flight Oceanic 815, and that's why he ended up as Walt on Lost.
You know, it's funny. I
Wow.
actually did.
By the way, that is Walt from Lost, yes.
I did have questions about where that family was. And
I
how
think
they were
like,
out of there
this kid,
so
we need to
quickly.
get him out of here.
So you think that
Great
he was
point.
released from the hospital? The
And they
body
go, look,
was already.
if those kids fucking come, you tell them he's dead.
That's brutal.
They're dumb. They won't
That's
Google anymore.
brutal.
Yeah. You tell them they're dead. We're going to go to Australia or whatever. They'd have to go to Australia and then be coming back, right? Yeah. So I guess like they went to Australia for a bit and then they came. Yeah. So all right. Anyway, I like your theory that is what happened with Walt. Okay,
Wow.
great. We finally get some more Lost fanfic. Hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm Doug.
Hey, Doug.
We're trying to figure out, my crew and I,
Okay.
what
Wait, are
I
you
got a question.
Doug's crew? Is this
I got
Doug's crew?
Doug's crew over here.
Doug's crew, everybody.
what is the deal with the door in Elle's house?
Thank
It has
you.
this bizarre
Thank
window.
you. Thank you.
This is a great yes. So describe this door a little bit.
Well, at
both
first,
of
I
you.
honestly thought it was like the Louisiana, what is that, flower? Like it looked like some sort. And then I was like, it's a Celtic symbol. There's some sort of symbol, cross-like symbol on the door.
New Orleans Saints logo.
But they're in Los Angeles.
You can still be a Saints fan. I got a lot of friends that are Saints fans.
Maybe
Maybe
is
they're
a
from
part
New
of-
Orleans. Maybe they're from New Orleans.
Okay. I thought about. Thank you for bringing it up, Doug, and your crew. Thanks to all of you, because I thought about it quite a
And
bit.
also, if you're here with a crew, please identify yourselves by a name. Decide what your crew's name is when Paul gets to you.
All right. Yes. Hi.
Hey, is it just me
Who
or
the fuck are you?
What's your name? What's your crew?
Pete and straight up, because I got my brother-in-law from Melbourne in today. So is it just me, or is it just whoever could win the dance-off? It's just if you have enough friends in the audience, because it's all sound-based in the end?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could absolutely rig this.
First of all, no, you couldn't, because they are fans of dance. They're willing to look. Wade's crew won in enemy territory because people are like, you know what? I can't lie. They're better.
How many shows do you think they're actually putting on that
Well, they seem
draw
to
a
be
crowd?
They seem to do 8 shows in 2 weeks.
It seems like there's multiple.
I think, Paul,
crews.
you're just lobbying for the story listeners of America.
Thank you. Story listeners of America.
Does Mr. Rad is this Mr. Rad's whole job? Is he making a living at this?
No, why can't he just bring joy to the community, Jason? Why can't he just be invested in the success of the youth?
Okay, Mr. Rad, first of all, is he is a obstetrician, and
Wait a minute. He is?
That's what I got from it. He is delivering babies during the day, but he also has a flexible schedule because, sometimes, oh shit, I gotta go. And he'll leave.
You don't have a flexible schedule as an obstetrician.
Well, you kind of got to flex. You don't know when it's going to happen.
That's the definition of not having a flexible schedule.
Here's what I'm saying. He gets a beep. Oh shit, baby's coming. You guys got 5 minutes. And you can always.
That's what you think is happening in the off-screen moments of this movie? You think Mr. Rad's getting beeped because he has to go deliver a baby?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
All right.
By the way, I thought I mentioned this to you backstage, Jason, but I could not believe that we didn't get to see the Lil Kim video.
Yes. I thought for sure that would be the credits.
By the way, the Little Kim video costs more than this movie. There's no way that this movie could finance the Little Kim video. This is a low budget film. All right, yes, your question. Hi.
Hi, I'm Alex, and this is the Real OC crew.
Ooh, the Real OC
nice.
crew.
Real OC crew.
I had a question about. We're confused about the economics. They each had to put $5,000 in.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, each?
No, each team.
Each team.
Team had to put in $5,000, but then they're only divvying up $5,000.
Well, I guess the 5,000 would go back.
No,
right?
I think they're divvying up 10,000.
No, they're not.
No,
She's right about that. They are divvying up 5,000, but the 5,000
because they don't win. They're not winning 10,000. They're winning
5,000.
back their 5,000.
Whoa, wait, why?
Because
I bet
they put it
Mr.
in.
Rad's taking a cut.
No, it's like
Let me guess. Mr. Rad gets the other $5K.
it's a battle for $5,000, but they have to put up $5,000 to win $5,000.
What happens with the other $5,000?
the $5,000 is going to go back to
That goes
Elle
back to them.
and
Put up
David.
5,000, I put up 5,000.
Right.
We battle.
So if I get it from my grandma,
Okay,
right?
Wait, it doesn't matter where it's coming from.
It does a
Wait,
little.
It does not, Paul? The auspices of the $5,000 is irrelevant.
Well, but
No,
let
it
me
is
explain
relevant
it.
because it's not coming from the whole crew.
Right. Let me explain it. Let me explain it. Let me give you the grandma analogy for it. If I get $5,000 from my grandma, she only gave him $1,500. But if I get $5,000 from her, then when I win the dance battle, I'm like, I have to give back my grandma that $5,000.
Right.
So now we have the $5,000 that we'll split.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
that is what's happening.
That's why it's only $5,000 that they're splitting. Because
I think it's 7,000 that the rest of the crew is splitting because aren't David and Elle taking
Well,
1,500 each?
Yeah, but they're they're only winning.
David and Elle are putting up 5,000 of their
Own
combined money. So
Which
they're gonna
they
take
are
that
then
5K back.
saying
I get it.
hey, as investors in this, we deserve a much heavier cut.
We're
We
taking
took
the
the
risk.
risk, yes.
Right, because the other crew's not putting up that. I think that's fine. So the 5,000 goes back, and then they split that money, and they keep a percentage that's a little bit higher.
Quite a bit
Well, they
higher.
win $10,000.
No,
they only
don't.
win 5,000.
They win
It's not a
$5,000.
$10,000 battle. It's a 5,000. It's like we're going to challenge you for $5,000.
It's a $5,000 buy-in.
Right.
Thank you.
So that $5,000 goes back. You got to pay back grandma with the $5,000.
Wait a minute, but if my team doesn't have a grandma,
Then you can't
Okay,
you
so
can't afford to play. You can't battle.
I've got to have a grandma. What if I don't have a grandmother? What if my grandmother's
Find one.
I can't
Find one.
dance?
Get married and get a grandma-in-law.
Yeah, get a grandma in there.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, so it's like if you have a 5 crew, if you have 5 members in your crew and they each put in 1,000, you get back your 1,000, and then you also get 1,000.
Yes. I can't believe we've discussed this for this long.
But isn't that $10,000?
Well, yes and no. It's not. I guess if in your mind,
the winning
audience,
team,
if you're saying, well, yes, then that I put in 5,000, so I'm winning back my own money. I guess yes. If you want to view it like you're winning back your own money, you're just getting back.
It's like, what's the profit here?
$5,000.
Yes.
Right. So the only thing that they're going to win is $5,000, but they have to.
No, the prize is $10,000. You don't think Mr. Rad's advertising that as
Oh,
wait.
no.
Now. Okay. Paul, who will Paul be now? Who is this guy?
No. Oh my gosh. This movie made me take off my shoes. Obviously, we have opinions about this movie, but there are people out there with a different opinion. It is now time for Second Opinions.
Hi, I'm Jen. You got served, that's what it's called, and though it's focused on the cruise, I really want to shine a light on the one star who came through. Got arthritis in her leg, and now she thinks she's got the gout. She is all our inspiration. She's the one who's showing out. Grandma! She earned this movie 5 stars. We know she don't complain. Oh, Grandma, I need to borrow some money.
Amazing! Give it up for wow! Great Second Opinions tonight. Like I said, this movie was a bona fide hit. The budget was $8 million.
Wow!
Opening weekend, it made $16 million, and it went on to gross domestically $40 million. Opened number 1 at the box office the week it came out.
Paul, is this before or after Step Up? The first Step Up? This is before. So this is, okay.
Yeah, so 2004 is when it came out. The average rating on this is a 4.6 out of 5 stars.
I don't disagree.
1,900 total reviews, 83% are 5 stars, and here we go. Okay, this is from Exuma X. The title is Tight! A lot of people gave this movie a low rating because they said it lacked plot. I watch movies for entertainment. I read books for plot.
Story listeners of America have spoken.
I was a street dancer myself from the dirty South, and although this movie is several years old and without the current moves and they are updated, it's still a cool look back at the past. They could have added more dancing and kicked up the effects a bit more, but it was slamming. Plus, Megan Good and Lil Kim were very, very sexy. 5 stars.
Wow.
I'm going to mispronounce this person's name, but here we go. Brenda Johnson writes in 2004.
Which of those do you think you mispronounced?
Well, no, it's going to come up here. Brenda Johnson is the writer, but she titles it, Michelle Molchanov is the best dancer in the movie. I saw the movie with Michelle. She is one of the dancers that appears in the Big Bounce competition. She rocks. The first time I went to see a movie in the U.S., I'm from Argentina, was last January, and it was You Got Served. It's an amazing movie. I love how they act, and of course, how they dance. Everyone in this movie rocks. And Michelle Molokov is the best dancer in the world. 5 stars. Michelle Molokov is the best dancer in the world.
Wow. I wish we knew who that was.
Ling Ling writes, this movie is off the heezy. Forget about all them players who said this movie was sick of trash. This movie is my life, Rizzle. It's hella sweet dancing, made me want to bust all over the place.
I mean, Paul, again, these can be clipped. These pieces can be used elsewhere.
The story also had a well-developed plot, and all the characters were believable and intriguing. Home sizzle, get this movie, dog. It's hot, peace, balla, and the title is Holla at Ya Boy. This person just titled Amazon customer writes, yo, I hollered at my boy to pop one of these bad boys in for me the other day, and oh snap, this is some hot shit. The dancing is like whoa, and the moves are like insane. You better pick up this DVD right away because it's got the mad moves that are all up in your face, son. And the title is Get Off the Hook.
Wow.
There it is. Now I'll tell you this much. Sequels, yes, it had it. You Got Served, Beat the World, 2011. So almost like the very long delay.
2011?
Yeah.
That's quite, wow.
Went straight to video.
6 years later.
But it was released in foreign territories. But here's the thing that actually happened. The official dance tutorials from the film were released shortly after the movie's release on a tutorial DVD titled You Got Served, Take It to the Streets. The 1984 dance movie that was the main influence on You Got Served was Breakin'. The dancers for the film were divided into teams and rehearsed at Millennium Dance Studio and Debbie Allen's dance company. And they basically kept them all separate to lend authenticity to their legendary dance battles. And so they brought in Simon Rugula, which sounds like a fake name, to bring in the underground.
Me? Simon Arugula. I'll be taking your daughter out tonight. My name is Simon. Simon Arugula?
What we have here, I wanted to see, I think there is a, well, we don't need to watch a trailer for the second one.
Yes, we do.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I hope Lil Saint's ghost is in it.
We got over 20 countries represented here tonight. It doesn't matter what language you speak, because the language of hip-hop is universal.
We're gonna be the first crew to bring free run into hip-hop. It's crazy. If we wanna win this competition, our moves gotta be fresh.
Parkour?
I had the dream to do this, and that's all that matters.
How hard is it to be on time?
Since when do you speak for the crew? I just want to shake your hand to last year's champion. It's my pleasure. I also want you to get a chance to meet this year's champion.
If we're gonna win this, I need you to stay focused. Don't always handle my business. She's our competition.
Can you press pause for 1 second? 40 crews?
That's a lot to follow.
We couldn't make sense of 4. This movie had 4.
40 crews.
40 crews?
40 crews, 10 minutes of dialogue.
This movie, and it's 6 hours long.
The only thing in my mind right now is winning. If you want to step up, I'll school you right here. She's not going with you.
You know dancing is our only way out.
Wow.
I'll be honest.
It looks so good.
It looks great.
It looks so much better.
I love that you. Yes, we gotta do it.
I would like to.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I know you really don't want us to. No.
No, gross. Thoughts?
Oh, wow. I'm looking forward to this movie,
Beat
the
the World.
international movie. Yeah. For me, there was just, I never thought I'd say this, too much dancing.
There was too much dancing.
There was
Yeah.
too much dancing.
Well, and
just too much lateral dancing. Like
That's
every
it.
dancing seemed the same as the last.
And each of the they did not seem to get the numbers in the choreography rather didn't get more
didn't build.
complicated or complex. It didn't heighten to something so that at the end it felt, whoa, this is it all felt the same, and all the teams had the same moves. It seemed like. I loved it. That being said, I still loved it.
I liked this movie too. I thought it was like I wanted it to be dumber, like in a way.
How could it be dumber? What?
You wanted so much from this movie.
Like it gave you so much dumb.
I guess you're right. I mean, I found it completely enjoyable. I think that I like the side characters. I would like to see. You Got Served universe. Blow it out. We'll see a movie with Mr. Rad. Working with
Beautiful.
what's going. Yeah, beautiful. We'll see all that sort of stuff. I think that would be great. I think the hospital should be the centerpiece. We call it You Got Served, like meets Grey's Anatomy.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
But no, I recommend this movie. I recommend it, and
oh yeah, this is a blast. I mean, I will say, Step Up, a better version of a dance crew movie. I love those movies, but this went down so smooth this afternoon.
I loved it. I was down for it. All right, well, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. You know what? You might have gotten served, but don't beat yourself up about it. It happens to the best of us. By the way, speaking of the best of us, we're going to Canada. That's right. How Did This Get Made is going to be in Vancouver on July 12th at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. The movie is the 2001 Sylvester Stallone F1 movie, or maybe it's just a car racing movie. It's called Driven, and it is beautiful. It is available to rent in Canada, so don't worry about that. You can get tickets by going to hdtgm.com. My book, Joyful Recollections of Trauma, is now out in paperback. You can go to my website. You can check out all the extra bonus content, videos, pictures, whatever. And the book has 20 extra pages. If you want it autographed, just go to my website or How Did This Get Made, and you can just click a little link and I'll sign it. I'll personalize it. I'll make it perfect for you. Jason is continually on Taskmaster in one of the best seasons in recent memory. Oh my gosh, what I wouldn't give for me and Jason to host a Taskmaster here in the States. It would be an absolute dream. Now, if you're thinking about t-shirts, we did make one. It is the Story Listeners of America. It looks a little bit like an NPR logo. It's the United States with headphones on. You get that as a sticker, a mug, whatever you want. The Dashery will get you hooked up any way you want your merch. Check out all the merch from our tour. And a big thank you to everyone that always helps us on our tour, and especially at Largo, our home theater. That is our producer, Cody, our producer, Scott, Molly Reynolds, and our sound engineer, Casey Holford and Rich Garcia. As always, I'm thanking Avril Halley, and I want to continue to send her good thoughts, goodwill, anything you can, send it her way. You can check out our Discord where you can see how to reach out to her via email or actually snail mail. Just don't send anything that smells or is perishable. And if you want to continue this conversation about You Got Served, hit us up on the Discord at discord.gg/HDTGM or 619-PAULASK. You can leave a message for me about You Got Served. And again, we will break it down for you. Okay, that's all for this week's episode. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are rating. Make sure you're recommending this show to a friend, because all those things help and it's completely free. So we will see you next time in a little episode that we like to call Last Looks, where we now hear from you about You Got Served and whether or not we should do the sequel, which is a valid question. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Yeah.